Hi guys, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. And today I just want to give you a quick update on the status of our Eden season here in State 55. So I have been mentioning in other videos that our Eden season was going to be starting today, and we were hopeful that we would have an X-Heroes event starting today as well. But as per usual, the developers have thrown a bit of a curveball at us, and they've actually changed some of the game mechanics for Eden. Let's click on events. You can see here we've got Reign of Chaos event, which is open and it ends in 55 days. So we've got this front page here, which says Season X Rising. A portal to an ancient world is found under the throne. Everyone can go there via the portal. Can we find the method to stop the evil power? Down here, we've got a sign up timer, which was counting down from 3 days, and the option to sign up. If we click on the sign up intro, it gives some very brief information. So instructions, sign up intro, only the leader and the overseer can sign up for the Alliance. So our leader Zeus signed up the Alliance earlier today. After signing up, the Alliance will start matchmaking. If members left the Alliance or immigrated during the sign-up will be cancelled. Cannot disband, leave the Alliance or emigrate during matchmaking. Joining intro. During the event, players that didn't sign up can enter the ancient battlefield freely. After entering, a random ancient battlefield province will be joined. So there's a bit of conjecture about what all of this means, because as I say, we signed up personally in our alliance in Undisputed Warriors over here in 55. We signed up this morning, so theoretically it's supposed to be starting to matchmake. And what we think the logical step would be is that they're going to matchmake alliances by power, maybe province ranking, but unlikely. It's most likely going to be power, we would think. So it says the sign-up will be cancelled if members left the Alliance, but we've had some members leave the Alliance today as we were just shuffling things around, and our sign-up hasn't been cancelled. So it's really a bit ambiguous what the kind of parameters are for this and whether it's actually even relevant right now, or if it's going to be applicable in 2 and a bit days when the sign-up period is over. We also don't know in terms of if you're not part of an alliance that has signed up to Eden, and say if you are just by yourself, you don't have an alliance, or you're in an alliance but they haven't signed up for Eden. It's really not clear at the moment how you would then join in as an individual. So that's the sign up intro. Here is new content. We will click on this. And it says all new participation mechanics, all new alliance sign up matchmaking and individual random matchup. Guild, all new individual groupings. Guilds, all players will join as a guild. Players can be a guild without being limited to alliances or provinces. Guild members can enjoy benefits of the guild as well as adjacent territories. You would think from that wording that it does mean in a couple of days' time, potentially, if your alliance hasn't signed up, or you leave an alliance, or even if you're in an alliance that has signed up, it's saying you can choose a different alliance from a different province. That would be my take on what it's saying. But again, it's all ambiguous as usual. I just think the developers don't put enough thought. This is a very complex game, and don't get me wrong, that's good because I can make tutorial videos about it and talk about it a lot to hopefully help others and people will watch my videos. But equally, it's really not helpful on a practical level where you're just trying to understand what's going to happen. And I'm an R4 of an alliance, all of us on the R4 council, we're asking around our friends in other provinces, and no one knows because it's just not clear. There's not enough information when they bring out this new content and this new mechanics in the game. it would be really helpful if they actually did a proper informative help section in the game, just so that you know what's going on and you can understand what's going on, rather than you're kind of trying to find your way in the dark almost. But that's a mini rant from me, my first one. Let's go down and continue with the new content information. So new rules. New occupation value will be utilized as a season rating system. That's in regards to taking towns, cities, etc. on the map. Guilds can occupy cities to obtain occupation value, reach value goals for season rewards. Legion energy. Legion energy is needed for Ancient Battlefield, i.e. the Eden map, as most people would know it. In the Ancient Battlefield, legions will only use up Legion energy and not stamina. That's interesting. Unlike Reign of Chaos seasons 1 to 4, where you're having to use your stamina to take tiles, etc., it seems that the Eden gameplay mechanic isn't going to have such an effect on your ability to carry out normal activities back in your home state off the Eden map. And then we've got will. Will determines how much the troops are willing to fight. Further they are from the base, lower the will. If troops' will is too low, the damage will be lowered by percentages. So planning out the base location is very important. As I understand it from friends that have played Seasons of Eden in older states, that isn't particularly different. Supposedly, the further away your troops were attacking from your castle location, that did decrease. But whether it was actually, it just probably wasn't called will at the time. It might have been might. So a few different elements to the game coming up. It's going to be interesting how you accumulate things like Legion energy for the Eden map. It'll be interesting how you can interact with other players in the form of joining different guilds, or how that structure is going to work. So to be honest, guys, there's been more questions than answers brought up by this content starting today. But at least we do know we are in Eden. It's starting. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens in another couple of days. One good, solid piece of information is that we do have 4 new SX heroes that have been released into the game. You can click on Season Rewards here for those players that are in the Eden States, Season Hero Preview. On the rewards, there are 2 different sections, X Legendary Recruitment 1 and 2. If we click into 1, on the latest update done in the last 36 hours, they've changed this and included on the first section the Lawman and Spectral Reaper. I just want to quickly have a look at these. Lawman is a cavalry's hero. She's got a few very cool skills, status skills, so that that activates after basic damage is taken. So when Self Squad is taking damage, you're going to get a 50% chance to deal up to 63% damage to 2 random enemy squads within the range of 2. The effective range for this skill is 1 because that's your own squad that it's in. The fact that the range is only 2 means that Lawman is definitely a front row hero. You're going to have the usual 50% increase to resistance and might in skills 3 and 4. But skill 5, this is going to be a real game changer, and probably why she will become the #1 cavalry hero, front row cavalry hero. It's another status skill. It's got a range of 3, and the target is 1 random friendly squad. And the skill is Self Squad, and the 1 friendly random squad will recover some troops each turn, and you can increase this up to 96.5%. That is an incredible buff to have in your legion with a hero with that skill. 96.5% recovery rate. So that 96.5% recovery rate, that's going to make a huge difference in battles to minimize your losses. Looking at skill 8, It's a combat skill, effective range 3, and this is for 2 friendly squads with an effective range. 40% chance to reduce 30% damage, and then take 30% damage from the enemies for the other 2 friendly squads for 2 turns. So it looks like it's giving a buff both to your own and 2 friendly squads. So that's a buff for all 3 squads in your legion, in your formation. So some really cool skills on that one. Spectral Reaper, Archer's Hero, effective range 5 on his combat skill, so he's a back row hero. Passive skill, so this is another one. It's going to impact after a basic attack. So you've got a 35% chance, so not a super high chance, but 35% chance to attack again after basic attacks to the same target. So it's a counter attack effectively, dealing 742 damage. That's huge. That is huge. And making them unable to recover troops for 1 turn. So it's a debuff skill as well. Onto the 5th skill. Effective range 4. 40% chance to deal 455% damage to 1 random enemy squad within range, and increase 60% basic attack damage for self squad for 1 turn. So again, it's a combat skill that's doing damage to the opponent while also buffing your own troops in your legion on the basic attacks. So it's got 2 effects to that skill. 8th skill, effective range 1, 1 random friendly squad. Self squad basic attack damage is increased by 100% when the enemy is tallying skill range. This squad is considered to be +1 range away. This is an interesting skill. I'll be honest, I haven't seen anything like this before. I think it's unique in the game, and my understanding is that this description is saying that the game is going to make your opponent consider that you are an extra range, an extra row away from where you are. So if you put this hero on the back row, because he does have that range 5 skill 2, you can put him on the back row, and if you're up against another killer on the back row of your enemy, they're not going to be able to, their skills are not going to hit you, because this skill is saying that your range is 6, you're 6 rows away. So that's a very interesting skill, I have to say. Out of the recruitment 1 into recruitment 2, 2 more new heroes here, the Valkyrie and the Defender. Valkyrie is a footman hero, and she is effective range 5, probably going to be a back row hero again. First one is combat skill, 100% chance to make self squad unable to attack. That's interesting description. 100. That's effectively saying you're going to make your own squad not attack, which is a bit weird. Maybe the wording on that's wrong. 30% increased damage for 2 turns, and deal 218 damage to 1 random enemy squad within range. So extra damage plus a buff to your own squad for 2 turns, if I read that correctly. Another, definitely back row hero, combat skill, range of 5. This is going to deal some serious damage. 1 turn prep, so maximum of 4 uses in a battle, but 45% chance to deal 310% damage to 3 enemy squads within range. If this activates, you're going to cause some serious damage to your opponent. And lastly, another status skill, So this will provide a buff all the time. Self-squad countering to footmen and cavalries is increased by 30%. And a 70% chance each turn to ignore 50% of enemy squad's base resistance, which would effectively mean you're giving yourself a 50% buff in attack power because the enemy's resistance is going to be halved. And that's a high percentage, 70% chance. That's an interesting skill as well. So the developers are getting creative with these skills now as they bring out. This is the third batch of X heroes that have been released by the game, and they are getting creative with the skills and making them more meta, in my opinion. So the defender, Ophelia, she is another archer hero, and we've got another passive skill here. After basic attacks, 80% chance to decrease 20% damage taken for your own squad for 2 turns. Interestingly, this status is stackable. You've got 8 rounds in the game. It covers 2 turns. I'm presuming then if it activated 4 times, then by round 8 you would have, well, by round 7, if it activated on round 1 and 2, then by round 8 you're going to have 80% damage decrease. So an 80% chance to decrease 80% damage for that squad. I would think she's going to be a front row hero with that ability. And yes, look, now we have another passive skill again, and this is a range 3, so she's definitely a front row hero. 50% chance to deal 310% damage to 1 random enemy squad within range after basic attacks, and recover some troops for self squad up to 67% recovery rate. So again, a great dual ability skill there. 50% chance to deal some serious damage, and you can recover 67% of your losses. Lastly, 8th skill, another combat skill with a range of 3. And this is going to give 35% chance to make the other 2 random friendly squads to attack twice with 30% increased damage for 2 turns. Low percentage skill chance here, but it does give a good buff to the other 2 squads if it activates. So those are your new X heroes, guys, as well. And some very basic information on Eden. Sorry I don't have any more information for you just yet. Give us a couple of days once we've got past this sign-up intro, and then we're into the next stage. It's going to be an interesting week. Hopefully we will get an X hero event on Thursday for recruitment day, as that seems to be when the season starts in earnest. Thank you very much for watching the video. I really appreciate all the support on the channel. Please do remember to subscribe, ring that bell, like, and place any comments that you have below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.